Everybody, welcome back. Recently had a request, had one of the viewers in the comment section ask if we could do an ulnar gutter cast, which there are already a couple of videos on the channel. There's an ulnar gutter splint, there's at least one ulnar gutter cast, maybe two. However, the request was if we could do an ulnar gutter cast without using the 1-inch fiberglass, but rather using the 2-inch fiberglass. And also if I could present in the video how to make an ulnar gutter cast without making so many cuts with the scissors to help expedite the amount of time putting on the cast if somebody's working alone and they don't have the time to make all the specific cuts. So there are some ways you can make an ulnar gutter cast without as many cuts, and I'm going to show you two versions in this video how to do an ulnar gutter cast with minimal cutting, more folding, more creasing, with not only the 2-inch fiberglass, but also we're going to do a version with the plaster as well, so you can get the best of both. If you pan down, you'll see that I have some materials laid out here already. I have some 3-inch plaster, I have some 2-inch fiberglass, the standard cotton, and the cuts that I make in the stockinette that I make prior to actually putting the cast on, and some tape to tape the fingers. We're going to go ahead and get into that now. So as you guys know, when we're doing the ulnar gutter cast and splint, we have them bring their fingers down to this position without curling them. We just keep them as straight as possible. You guys saw in those little clips there, I did the 3 sections of stockinette, one for the thumb, one for the 2 fingers that'll be exposed, one sleeve here for the 2 fingers that'll be in the cast, and of course the rest of the stockinette that goes the length of the arm, which I will of course fold back up. We'll go ahead and start him in this position. Those 2 fingers are buddy taped in case you missed that earlier in the video. And we'll start the cotton here. We'll work our way all the way down the arm, and you'll notice that I'm not going to be using any scissors for the cotton either. And here we go. You guys, in case you missed this in the video that I put up, the previous ulnar gutter cast video that I put up, which was a couple years ago, that video's been online for a little while now, you'll notice I come up through the wrist and I come up high with a high slant, and I do that so that when I come through the fingers, I can use this folded in half, the strength of this cotton, I can keep those fingers in position without having to force them. I do 2 turns and then I come back through. That 2 turns of folded 2-inch cotton will keep those fingers in that downward position, so you can go ahead and continue wrapping. Strip of 2-inch, I'll fold it in half. I will bring it down so that there's some padding between the 2 fingers that'll be mobile and the 2 that'll be locked in the cast. So there'll be a strip of 2-inch folded padding there. Some people like to send it this direction, some people like to bring it this direction. For video purposes, I'm just going to put it right down the middle and let you make the call on that. You'll notice, of course, like I do on all my casts, I'll put a little bumper on the distal edge, the proximal and distal edges of the padding, just like so. And I'll put a little extra around the thumb. And then we'll get into the cast. Now this is important, you guys. I'm going to do the first layer of the cast. I'm going to do with plaster. I want you guys to see how you can make an ulnar gutter cast out of plaster without using scissors. So earlier at the very beginning of this video, you saw me show the supplies that I was using. I want to be fully transparent and let you guys know I changed my mind. Instead of 2 rolls of 3-inch plaster, I changed my mind. And for the fingers and the hand, I'm going to do 2-inch plaster instead. You start at the fingers. We all know how messy plaster is, so I tried to drape as best I could. And again, just like I did with the cotton, I'm going to come underneath the wrist and I'm going to come up in between the fingers and use the strength of that pulley. You just saw him do it just there. The strength of that pulley to keep those fingers in the position that the doctor requires. And again, as noted in the very beginning, we're making 2 versions of this. This first layer will be plaster without scissors. The second layer will be fiberglass without scissors. So you can see both versions. And I'll change the title on the initial video that was put up a couple years ago. I'll change the title to version 1. And I'll change the title, well, I'll put the title for this one, version 2 of the ulnar gutter cast. Of course, you fold this over so that both fingertips are visible, shape it as need be. You bring this guy over. If you want to make this a little easier on yourself, you can do a couple little slits right here. And on the thumb as well. So when you fold it back, it's not all bunched up. You get a nice little flare and it looks nice and neat and professional. You do that with the thumb as well. Just like so. Bring it down. And if it doesn't want to stay for you, you can always get your little 1/2-inch tape that I used on the fingers and you can tape down the ends. If you don't have an extra set of hands to help you, you can tape down these ends and that'll keep it in its nice little fold there while you finish your cast. I'm going to finish off this with the 3-inch plaster. We'll speed through that. So if the doctor ordered this ulnar gutter cast to be plaster, we would go ahead and finish this off with a top layer, make it look nice and neat. But as promised, I want to show you how you can do the exact same thing we just did without scissors with fiberglass. So I'm going to clean my hands. We're going to pause for like 2 seconds while I get my hands cleaned up, throw some gloves on, and we're going to do the top layer with the fiberglass. So we're going to go ahead and do the next layer with the fiberglass. I got a 2-inch roll here. We're gonna wet that. We're gonna squeeze the water, not only drip dry it, but we're gonna squeeze the water into the material as opposed to shaking the water out. We'll start with the fingers, just like before, and we'll go all the way to the edge of that stockinette fold right there. And do 2 passes. We'll come all the way down. Everything we've done before, come down by the wrist, come up with a hard slant, come up through the fingers one last time. Here, I would normally cut, but as requested, I'm gonna fold instead. So again, if you didn't see that, I'm grabbing right here and I'm folding and I'm coming through. Now, not such a hard slant, more straight across, so I can come through the finger, the index finger and the thumb. And again, come on down, without cutting, I'm gonna do a fan fold. Just like so. Nice, strong fan fold. I'll come through and do it again so you guys can see it. We'll open it up right there in the palm where nobody sees it. And then I'm laying flat now. I'll come down by the thumb and around. I'm steering, for lack of a better word, I'm steering the fiberglass. Now this, instead of a fan fold, I'm only going to do a partial fold. So it lays flat and it covers all that material that I just did. You have a nice professional appearance, and all we do now is work our way all the way down the arm. So that, everybody, is how you would do an ulnar gutter cast, both with fiberglass and the previous section we did with plaster, without using scissors. So that if you have time constraints, or you just don't want to be looking around for your scissors, or whatever the deal is, it is possible to make a cast. I actually, I just thought of something. I actually had a child recently, maybe about a month or 2 back. I had a child patient, a pediatric patient, who had a serious phobia to scissors. So I literally had to make the entire cast without scissors. So all you do now is you laminate it and you shape it. And that, everybody, is your ulnar gutter updated version cast. You guys, thanks for watching. I have a couple more videos I'm going to be doing in the next few days that people have requested. The next one I'm going to be working on as soon as we're done with this is for the viewer that asked, I'm going to be working on the slipper cast next. You guys take care.